Welcome in to Louisville, Kentucky, the Louisville Jockeys and the Franklin Duelers here today. Starting lineups are being introduced. I will get those written down and go through those here in a second. We'll take a quick break and be back with the start of this game. Stay with us here on the Duelers Network. We are back in here at Derby City Field again. My name is Sam Reeves. Welcome to Duelers Baseball, the third game of the year. Louisville Jockeys coming in with a record of 1-2. The Duelers had an off day yesterday, coming in with a record of 1 win and 1 loss. Taking the mound for your Duelers tonight, will be the pitcher from UAB who will be transferring to Southern University to join his twin brother, actually, Renard Grace, the lefty, taking the mound for the Duelers. Lineup for Franklin looks like this. Leading off and playing second base, Quincy Smith. Hitting second and center field, Sam Slaughter. Matt Jenkinson hits third at third base. Jonathan Evans in the cleanup spot tonight in right field. Sam Spell, the first baseman, hits fifth. Jackson Musrock, the shortstop, hits sixth. Brett Rawl at catcher hits seventh. Jackson Norris is a designated hitter. He'll hit eighth. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Duelers will be the left fielder, Treyan Dorsett. So that is how the Duelers will look to start this game. As we're still about 5 minutes away from first pitch here from Derby City Field. The Duelers will come up with Smith, Slaughter, and Jenkinson to start this ball game off. As Robbie Arnett, the starter, is a left-handed, or excuse me, Robbie Arnett, as I'm trying to locate him on the roster. They may have just added him. We will see if I can find him here. Give me 1 second. As Quincy Smith will take the mound first for the Duelers. We'll get back to that in a second. Yeah, there he is. Robbie Arnett from Transylvania University, born and raised in Crestwood, Kentucky, as Arnett pitches to Smith, who squares the bunt, takes the first pitch for ball one. Smith awaits the 1-0. That pitch is in there for strike number one. Quincy in left field today. Excuse me, at second. He was originally going to be in center, but Kyle Schexnader moved him into the infield right before lineup cards were submitted, as the next pitch is a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike your count. Quincy Smith from Southern University, born and raised in Los Angeles, California. As the 2-1 pitch from Robbie Arnett is on its way, and that one is swung on and missed, even to count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It looks like the scoreboard here in right field at Derby City Field is not functioning properly right now, so hopefully I'll keep my head about me with the count and things like that. As the next one from Arnett is taken low into the dirt, ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Filled out the count did Quincy Smith here for the Duelers. As Arnett, the right-handed pitcher, brings home the 3-2. That pitch is taken high for ball 4. Quincy Smith starts off the night for the Duelers with a leadoff walk. Up next for center fielder number 23, Sam Slaughter. As Sam Slaughter comes in for the Duelers, he is in center here tonight. Arnett gets a sign. Quincy Smith bluffs a move to second and goes back to first, as the first one is taken for a ball. Slaughter now squares the bunt as pulls back and takes ball 2. The throw back to first is not in time. Close play at first, but Smith gets back in, diving head first in there. Arnett gets assigned the 1-1 as the scoreboard is now on, which is a plus. Helps me out and helps the fans out, which is a good thing. Arnett brings home the 1-1. That pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. Sam Slaughter looks back at the umpire and thinks that's outside. Didn't get the call, though. He's still talking back there. Slaughter, I've been able to tell from just 3 games, he's a very fierce competitor, doesn't leave any pitch to chance, wants to go to battle every time he steps to the plate, and in the field for that matter, too. As the 1-2 to Slaughter is on its way. A long hold and first, a throw back to first. Quincy Smith dives in safely once again. The 1-2 is taken for ball 2. That one is high and away. Count evens itself out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arnett gets the sign. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smith takes off. The pitch is low and in the dirt. Smith into second base, and he is safe. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A stolen base for Quincy Smith. And the count is full on the number 2 hole hitter, Sam Slaughter, for the Duelers. Smith takes the lead off second base. Here comes the 3-2 to Slaughter, and that one is low and inside. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Arnett. And 2 on, and nobody out for your Franklin Duelers here in the top of the first. That brings up Matt Jenkinson at third base today. Usually the second baseman, at least for the first 2 games, is Jenkinson. He's at third this evening. Jenkinson digs into the right-hander's batter's box. 2 men on and nobody out for the Duelers, top of the first inning. First pitch from Arnett as he's in the stretch is swung on and missed. Strike number 1. Jenkinson from Roane State Community College will be playing at Lincoln Memorial University next year. As the next pitch is low and in for a ball. 1-1 the count to Jenkinson. Jenkinson so far 7 at-bats and no hits for the Duelers, but he hit very well for Roane State last season. So he's just waiting to wake up as the 3-hole hitter for the Duelers, as the next pitch is a breaking ball. And that one misses the strike zone as well. I believe the count is 2-1. The scoreboard is lagging behind just a little bit. As yes, it is 2-1. As the next pitch from Arnett is fouled straight back to the screen. Count evens itself out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matt Jenkinson digs in. Robbie Arnett, the starting pitcher for the Jockeys this evening, brings home the 2-strike pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Both runners go. A double steal as a throw to third is not in time. That is a strikeout for Arnett, and Jenkinson heads back to the dugout. But the double steal is successful by the Duelers. Second and third, 1 out. Jonathan Evans, the right fielder, steps in for the Duelers. I would think Kyle Schexnayder and the Duelers will happily trade the double steal successfully for the strikeout of Jenkinson, as there are now 2 men in scoring position, 1 out, top of the first inning. For the Duelers, still no score from Derby City Field, as the first pitch is in there for strike 1 to Jonathan Evans. Evans so far on the year, 3 at-bats and no hits so far. 1 run scored this summer for Evans. as Arnett brings it home. That's a breaking ball. Hits the bottom of the zone for strike 2. 0-2 to Jonathan Evans. Jonathan Evans, the redshirt sophomore outfielder from Southern University in Starkville, Mississippi, steps out of the batter's box, calls for time. As we have a meeting at the mound between the pitcher and the catcher. That is Strong going out there to meet with his pitcher. Hunter Strong from Spalding University, born and raised right here in Louisville, Kentucky. As Strong heads back behind the dish, no balls and 2 strikes to Jonathan Evans. Second and third, 1 out for your Franklin Duelers. Top of the first inning here in Louisville. Robbie Arnett gets his sign and brings home the 0-2 pitch. First a look to third. And here it comes. That pitch is high and away. Nice snag out there by Strong to avoid a run coming home for the Duelers. But it is now 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith digs back in from the left side. Holds the bat on his shoulder. And here comes the 1-2 pitch from Arnett. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. Strike 3 called. And 2 straight strikeouts for Arnett. Brings up Steven Spell. A chance to do some damage here. 2 men in scoring position. Now 2 outs, though, for the Duelers. Steven Spell steps in at first base here today. From the right side of the plate stands Spell. As here comes the first pitch. That pitch is a breaking ball. Hits the inside corner this time. Strike number 1. Steven Spell on the year. 7 at-bats on 1 hit. A 143 average here early on for the Duelers first baseman. As Arnett looks to third base, from the stretch here comes the 0-1. And that one is low and in the dirt for ball number 1. Evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Steven Spell from Young Harris College, the junior, corner infielder from Cartersville, Georgia. As Arnett gets his sign from his catcher. Once again, we'll look toward third base. Here comes the next pitch, and that is a little dribbler to third base. Picked up by the third baseman. Throw to first is not in time. Steven Spell beats it out, and that's an RBI single for the Duelers. Not great contact, but the Duelers will absolutely take it. An RBI single by Spell. 1-0 here. Franklin on top. That'll bring up Jackson Musrock. The shortstop from the University of Memphis steps in. Men now on first and third. First pitch. That one is popped up first base side. Over goes the first baseman, and that is out of play. Foul ball. Sam Slaughter off of third base. And Spell off of, Slaughter off of third and Spell off of first base here with 2 down. Musrock, shortstop in the box for the Duelers. As Arnett will bring home the 0-1. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire. 0-2 now to Musrock. Jackson on the year, 6 at-bats and 1 hit, a 167 batting average for Musrock early on. As he digs back in, behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Runner takes off and a line drive into the gap. That'll fall. That's at least 1 RBI as Schexnayder will stop Spell at third. A ringing RBI single right there by Jackson Musrock. A nice piece of hitting behind in the count by the shortstop to drive in another run. 2-0 Duelers here in the first. Musrock drove one into the left center gap. Good job by the left fielder to get to it quickly. There was a little bobble out there by Sampson, but he was able to keep Spell at third base. Brett Rowell, the catcher, into the box, the left-handed hitter. Runner goes. Breaking ball is taken low into second base and diving in safely. There is Musrock, a stolen base for Jackson. Makes it second and third now, 2 outs. Now 2 men in scoring position for the Duelers. Chance to add on a couple more here in the first. Brett Rowell, the catcher, catches just about every other day, alternates with Evan Kirk behind the dish. At least that's how it's gone the first week for the Duelers. Rowell back behind the plate here tonight as the 0-1 is swung on and missed, strike 2. As it's 1-1. I thought it was 1-1. The scoreboard says 0-2, but it's 1-1 as the first pitch with the stolen base was low, a curveball in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Arnett looks to third, gets the sign. The 1-1 on its way, and that one is high for ball number 2. Rowell digs back in from the left side. 2 balls and 1 strike your count. Here it comes. That one's low in the dirt, blocked back there by Strong. 3-1. It's Brett Rowell from Coastal Alabama East University in Shalimar, Florida. Wearing it number 15 for the Duelers this year. Spell leads off of first base. Musrock off of second. 2 outs, 2 men in scoring position for the Duelers. Already up 2-0 here early. Rowell awaits the 3-1. Good hitters count. Here's the pitch. That one is outside. Bases are loaded. A walk for Robbie Arnett. The bases will be loaded for Jackson Norris, the DH here today. Norris, the first baseman slash designated hitter from the University of Montevallo. He'll dig in from the left side of the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs, first pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Norris hit .250 in just 28 at-bats for the University of Montevallo. 7 hits, 1 double, 2 homers. So 2 of the 7 hits were for homers. That's a lot of power right there in the bat of Jackson Norris. 6 RBIs as well for Jackson this season for the University of Montevallo. Next pitch is a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Arnett gets the sign. Here comes the 0-2. Fouled off, back behind the plate. Waited just enough to get a piece of that breaking ball. And Norris will stay alive. Still down on the count, though. No balls, 2 strikes. Arnett gets the sign. Here comes his 0-2, and that one is high on a fastball. 1-2 the count now. 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Steven Spell on third. Jackson Musrock on second, and off of first base is the catcher Brett Rowell. The on-deck hitter, if it gets to him, is the 9-hole hitter Trey Dorsett. Here comes the 1-2, and that's a changeup it looked like, just a little bit outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2. And that's fouled off at the plate. Good job to get a piece. As Norris stays alive at 2-2. The Duelers off after the off day yesterday, a loss 4-0 on only one hit for the Duelers against the Full Count Rhythm in Hendersonville 2 nights ago, and on opening night a 3-2 victory against the same Rhythm team in Bowling Green. On opening night, as the next pitch is grounded up the middle, nice job by the shortstop to try to get to it, but it goes through his legs, and the center fielder has trouble as well. 2 runs score, a throw to third, and not in time. The Duelers with 2 more RBIs on a 2 RBI single for Jackson Norris. The designated hitter drives in 2 more, 4-0 Franklin. As at first I thought the shortstop Taylor got a glove to it, but it must have snuck right under his glove as the catcher was blocking my view just a little bit up the middle there. And the center fielder out there, Goda, bobbled it as well to allow a second run to score, and the runner from first, Brett Rowell, to go to third. So we have a meeting at the mound with the Jockeys coaching staff, and the entire infield will come on in and chat. As the Duelers have batted around here in the first inning. This is the 9-hole hitter, Treyan Dorsett, coming up in left field here today, wearing number 8 for the Duelers. As most of this damage has been done with 2 outs as well. In fact, all the runs that have scored with 2 outs. His first RBI was driven in by the 5-hole hitter Steven Spell, then a second RBI by Musrock, and then 2 more RBIs after the rock to Rowell were driven in by Jackson Norris just a second ago. Meeting at the mound continues. Out goes the home plate umpire to try to speed up things just a little bit. As we have Luke Combs going on in the background. We do not want to get copyright. We don't want a copyright strike here on this YouTube channel. That had problems on the Duelers Facebook page last year as a result of that exact same issue with music copyright strikes. So I will talk over Luke Combs as much as Luke Combs is a joy to listen to. You'll have to hear my voice instead. I apologize for that. As Treyan Dorsett digs into the box, left-handed hitter. Men on first and third now, 4-0 Duelers after a 4-run first. Maybe more to add on here if Dorsett can come through. As Robbie Arnett still on the mound for the Jockeys. First pitch, runner goes. A ground ball down the third baseline and fair. That's at least 1 run. As here comes the second. Schexnayder will hold up the runner at third, and an RBI double for Treyan Dorsett extends the Duelers' lead to 5-0. Good piece of hitting. An ambush tactic right there worked successfully for Treyan Dorsett. Jumped on the first pitch and lined it down the third base line for an RBI double. That will turn the lineup over. Top of the order now, still hitting in the first inning. Quincy Smith back up there. A walk to lead off the game for Quincy. Smith digs in from the left side. Runners on second and third. Here comes the first pitch from Arnett. That's a breaking ball. Misses low for ball 1. So the Duelers must have used the off day yesterday to heat up the bats just a little bit after 1 hit 2 nights ago in Hendersonville. Already 1, 2, 3, and 4 hits in the first inning alone for the Duelers here this afternoon. As the next pitch is grounded down the first baseline, foul into the Duelers bullpen area. 1-1 the count. Like I was mentioning, it took the Duelers 8 1/3 innings to get their first and only hit of the ball game. On Friday night in Hendersonville, it was a Sam Slaughter single through the hole between first and second, and that was the only hit the Duelers got. They already have 4 here tonight. 1-1 to Smith, and that one's high and away, ball 2. And the most important thing, if you're the Franklin Duelers, you've put up 5 runs here in the first, so you're already putting the Jockeys' offense behind the 8 ball just a little bit before they've even come to the plate. So that's a plus if you're the Duelers. Men on second and third, 2 outs. Quincy Smith up for his second at bat of the first inning. As that pitch is fouled straight back off the end of the bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sam Slaughter does the honors to go grab that from behind the plate and heads back to his position on the on-deck circle. He will be the next hitter if Smith can get on base. Smith at second base, also an outfielder, played in center field 2 nights ago. Starting at second base here tonight. Here comes the 2-2. That pitch is a breaking ball. Good take right there. Nice eye by Quincy Smith. Fills the count out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Smith awaits the 3-2. Here it is. And that pitch is grounded past the second baseman. At least 1 run will score. Here comes the second. As Tran Dorsett fell down and coming around third base, but they throw the ball past the third baseman. Dorsett will come home. All the way to third goes Smith. He will pull in there with a stand-up. It's not technically a triple because of the error, a single and a 2-base error. Gives Smith third base. He's walking toward the plate. As the ball was out of play, he might score on the play, as he will. As the ball was out of play, as he was already on second base, that's a 2-base ground rule double, apparently. Essentially, the rule is 2 bases from the previous spot where you were when the ball went out of play, I believe. The umpires are discussing it. But if that is the case, he will go from second to home on the throw out of play. But instead, they're going to put him back at third. As apparently, he hadn't arrived at second when the ball was out of play, so he'll go back to third, Will Smith. Again, that's a single and a 2-base error. 1 run scores. That is Dorsett. He was dead to rights going back to third as he tripped, falling over the third base bag coming around third. But the throw from the catcher went all the way down the left field line. Smith was able to get back, retouch third, and then come home and score. Sam Slaughter to the plate. It's 6-0 Duelers. The scoreboard says 7, but it should be 6. Slaughter, first pitch of the ball. The second one on its way. Here it is. That pitch hangs high and away for ball 2. 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors so far for the Duelers. Only in the top of the first inning. Robbie Arnett already has 46 pitches. And right on cue, this might be the end of the day for Arnett. Head coach or manager will come out and take the ball from Robbie. Michael Clark does the honors. And they will bring in a new pitcher, will the Jockeys. In the middle of the at-bat. You don't see that very often. As it's 2 balls and no strikes, 2 outs. Duelers already up 6-0. Scoreboard still says 7, but I'm 98% sure it's 6 as they sent Quincy Smith back to third. That will be the end of the day for Robbie Arnett. Not a great first start for Robbie. He'll look to bounce back his next time out. The new pitcher, though, for the Jockeys is left-handed pitcher Stephen Tom from Bellarmine University in New Albany, Indiana. As Tom comes in, tall, lengthy left-hander, will try to finally end the first inning if he can. As the final line for Robbie Arnett Only 2/3 of an inning pitched, 5 hits, 6 runs, not all of them earned. As 5 of the 6 runs were earned, 2 strikeouts and 3 walks for Arnett. I'm kind of surprised they still haven't updated the score. I mean, the score has to be incorrect, I believe, because they did send Quincy Smith back to third. He's standing there right now. He originally scored, but they told him to go back there. So it's 6-0. As the 2-0 pitch is grounded up the middle and through the second baseman. That will be another run. That should be run number 7. A single off the bat of Steven Spell. That's his second RBI of the first inning alone. Excuse me, that was Sam Slaughter. A walk and an RBI single in the first for Sam. As the next pitch is popped up. In comes the center fielder. Out goes the second baseman. And it is Witchman, the second baseman, to make the catch and finally retire. Top of the first. Duelers with 7 runs on 6 hits. Jockeys coming up after the break. Stay with us. You are listening and watching to Duelers Baseball.
One-stop shop in the Louisville area. And our good friends at Middletown Eye Care, Dr. Frank R. Burns and the team at Middletown Eye Care.
As the 2-0 pitch from Renard Grace is on its way. Apologize, technical issues caused by me. That's my fault. I was muted at the start of the inning, so I'll catch you back up on what I was just discussing. Renard Grace is on the hill for the Franklin Duelers from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, did not play this past season. As Renard has a twin brother on this team, Rashard Grace from Southern University. And Grace on the mound will actually be joining his twin brother at Southern next year. He will be transferring to Southern. As the 2-0 pitch, or the 3-0 pitch is low and inside for ball 4. A walk to the 2-hole hitter Carson Bowles. As Joey Humphrey, the right fielder, steps into the box. The right fielder for the Jockeys this evening. Left-handed hitter. Grace, the lefty, looks towards second from the stretch. Here comes the first pitch, a double steal attempt. Rao will throw to third. Runner is safe at third, and a double steal executed successfully. Just after the Duelers pulled one off last half inning, the Jockeys respond with the same thing here in the bottom half. As we have second and third, nobody out for the Jockeys, bottom of the first. Next pitch is a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. As on the double steal, that pitch was also a strike, makes it 0-2. Carson Humphrey from Kankakee Community College in Logansport, Indiana. The 3-hole hitter for the Jockeys in right field. Here comes the 0-2. Low into the dirt, nice pick by Rao behind the dish. Picked that one like a first baseman would. Didn't have the time to get his full body in front, so just stuck his glove out and picked it off the dirt. Nice play by Rao back there to prevent a run from scoring. Second and third, nobody out. Or, 2 outs here in the first. As another block that time by Rao. I'm still kind of confused by the scoreboard now that I think about it, because we're only 3 batters in and there was a single and a walk. So the scoreboard is incorrect. There is nobody out and there are runners on second and third. As yes, Game Changer Online is correct. Is it nobody out, second and third? Grace gets the sign. Here comes the 2-2. That pitch is outside. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Duelers on defense tonight have Brett Rao behind the plate, Steven Spell at first, Quincy Smith at second, Jackson Musrock at short, Jenkinson at third, and left to right in the outfield is Dorsett, Slaughter, and Evans. The 3-2 is low and away, ball 4, the bases are loaded.
Up next, our designated hitter, number 34, Jarrett Humphrey.
As Jarrett Humphrey comes up. Humphrey, the designated hitter, comes up. Bases loaded, still nobody out for the Jockeys. Also from Logansport, Indiana, I will assume the Humphrey brothers are indeed just that, brothers. As the first pitch from Grace is fouled off first base side. Jarrett Humphrey attends Kentucky Wesleyan College, whereas his brother attends Kankakee Community College. So next pitch looks like that hit the inside corner. Called off the plate, though. Ball 1. Nobody out, bases loaded. Duelers up 8-0 after the top of the first. So next pitch is hit to third. Jenkinson will step on the bag for 1 out. But that's an RBI ground out for Jarrett Humphrey. put out by the third baseman Jenkinson, and a run driven in for Jarrett Humphrey. Makes the score 8-1 now. As the first pitch from Grace is high, ball number 1. Max Sampson from Townsend University steps in. The 1-0. That pitch is grounded through the hole between first and second. At least one run will score. He is safe at the plate. And an RBI single for Sampson.
Up next, our first baseman, number 1, Elliott.
First baseman Elliott will step in. Caden Elliott from Vincennes University. First pitch from Grace. Hits the inside corner, strike 1. Next one from Grace is in the dirt, blocked by Brett Rao behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Score has still not updated. I think that was just 1 run scoring on the last play. Should make it now 8-2, your score. As the runner came in from second after the put out of third. So yes, it is indeed 8-2. Here, bottom of the first inning. Beautiful evening for baseball here from Louisville, Kentucky at Jockey City Field. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled off on a hit and run attempt. Runner goes back to first. The count's now 1 ball and 2 strikes from Renard Grace, excuse me. I will do my best to keep those two separate this season. As a pitch from Grace is chopped on the ground, foul behind the plate. Over to get it goes the on-deck hitter for the Jockeys. As Caden Elliott digs in. Back into the right-hander batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. First and third. As the pitch is swung on and missed, a breaking ball. And that is a strikeout for Grace, this first of the day.
Up next, our second baseman, number 12, Jonah Witchman.
As Jonah Witchman steps in, the second baseman for the Jockeys. As Witchman will dig in from the left side. 2 outs, first and third. Grace to the plate, but first a throw to first. Runner back standing up. Jonah Witchman, the infielder from Columbus, Indiana, and St. Charles Community College. Runner goes. Throw to second by Rowell is not in time. Runner out third stayed put, though. A lot of the times when you see a runner from first take off with a runner already on third, if the catcher throws through the second, the runner from third base will try to score. But that time, the runner on third didn't go anywhere and just stayed there. So still 2 outs, now second and third. The 1-0 from Grace is a bit high, apparently, for a ball, 2-0. Grace's 2-0, here it is. That pitch is lined, but the ball is dropped by the third baseman Jenkinson, and they have no play. Jenkinson went sliding toward the ground to try to pick that one up cleanly. and couldn't catch it cleanly. It popped out of his glove.
Austin Taylor.
That should go as a hit. That was a tough play for Jenkinson on the chopper. I'm going to give him a hit in my scorebook. As Wichman picks up the RBI single. As the next pitch is golfed to left field. In comes the left fielder Dorsett to make the catch and retire the side. After one full inning of play, the Franklin Duelers lead the Louisville Jockeys by a score of 8-3.
Assist their clients in the purchase and sale of all types of real estate, homes, land, commercial buildings, and much more. And our good friends at All State Ford, truck sales in Louisville for your new or used Ford car. They are the premier Ford dealer providing a vast inventory, always at a great price.
We'll be right back with the top of inning number 2. Stay with us. While we have a minute, we would like to take this time to thank some of our sponsors. That include Condor Flooring. In addition, we would like to thank El Mazatlan Mexican Restaurant and Grill in Franklin, Holly J's Bar and Grill in Franklin, El Pochero Cantina and Grill, Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, Peekaview Ultrasound and Imaging, Surestay Hotel in Bowling Green North, Wildfire Pit Cooked Barbecue, Woody's Glove Repair, and in addition, we also would like to thank Visit Bowling Green. They are a proud supporter of the Duelers as well. Check out visitbgky.com to plan your next trip to Bowling Green, Kentucky today. As Jonathan Evans will step to the plate for the Duelers to lead off the second inning of play, top of inning number 2. Evans in the first struck out looking for the first out of the ball game. First pitch from Stephen Tom is low and away for ball 1. As Tom back up on the rubber, the left-handed pitcher will deliver. That pitch is inside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. As the Duelers had 8 runs on 6 hits in the first inning to begin this ball game. The Jockeys responded with 3 of their own in the bottom half. As the score only after 1 inning of play is 8-3, Franklin on top. 3 straight balls to start this inning as well for the Jockeys. Makes the count 3-0 to Jonathan Evans. As the next pitch is low and away for ball 4. A leadoff walk-on 4 pitches for the Duelers. As Steven Spell digs in, takes the first pitch low and away for ball 1. Next one, runner takes off. He is safe as Evans dives into second. Pitch was in there for a strike, 1-1 the count. As Tom on the rubber. Time call by Spell at the dish. Next pitch is golf behind first base, foul ball.
Foul ball sponsored by Fitness 19.
Steven Spell in his first at-bat just an inning ago actually had, in his only at-bat in the first, had an RBI single back last inning. As the count sits at 1-2 strikes, nobody out. Evans, on second base as the next pitch is high and away for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Duelers have definitely responded with the bats after the slow hitting day just 2 nights ago in Hendersonville. So that is for sure good to see. Next pitch is a ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Next one coming. Runner takes off to third, a hit and run, and that one's fouled off behind the dish. The on-deck hitter for your Duelers is Jackson Musrock, the shortstop. As Tom will bring home the full count pitch to Spell. Here it comes. That pitch is lined past the second baseman. Around third comes Evans to the plate. He will dive headfirst in there safely. An RBI single for Steven Spell. That will make it 9-3. Duelers in front. And the second RBI for Spell on the night. Jackson Musrock, the shortstop from the University of Memphis, will dig in from the right side now. Man on first is Spell. Nobody out for the Duelers. Top of the second. Musrock in the first had an RBI single of his own. Pitch is high and away, ball 1. The Louisville Jockeys in their inaugural season here as members of the Ohio Valley League. As the pitch is fouled off behind first base. The Jockeys had their opening night last Wednesday night as they took on the Madisonville Miners right here at Derby City Field. And had an opening night victory, did the Jockeys. As the pitch is popped toward first base. Over goes the first baseman Elliott. That one falls safely out of play though. Opening night victory for the Jockeys here against the Miners, as I mentioned, by a score of 5-2. Then the Jockeys went to Du Bois County to face the Bombers and lost that one 7-0 yesterday at home here against the Muhlenberg County Stallions, a 7-3 loss as well. And now trailing 9-3 are the Jockeys here to the Duelers. Next pitch is hit down the first baseline foul. That will fall untouched. The Duelers, of course, an opening night victory against the Full Count Rhythm in Bowling Green, 3-2, and a fantastic ball game all the way around. And then 2 nights ago on Friday in Hendersonville against that same Full Count team, a 4-0 loss. Duelers in front here, though, 9-3, as the 1-2 is once again fouled off. Nice at bat here and a good battle by Musrock. Musrock, like I mentioned, the shortstop from the University of Memphis. Also, his teammate at Memphis, Rashad Robinson, is on this team. As the next pitch is lined into right field. Musrock will round first hard and hold. And stopping at second is Steven Spell. Back-to-back hard hit singles to right for the Duelers. And Brett Rowe will head to the plate. Already 8 hits for your Franklin Duelers here. Just over 1 inning of baseball played. Spell off of second. Musrock off of first. As Tom brings home the first pitch, and that one hits roll in the back. He will head to first, and that will load the bases with nobody out.
Up next, our designated hitter, number 20, Jackson Norris.
Jackson Norris comes to the plate, the DH tonight for the Duelers. As in defensively situated for the Jockeys, strong behind the plate, Elliott at first, Richmond at second, Taylor at short, and Bowles at third. Left to right in the outfield, Sampson, Goda, and Humphrey. As Tom's first pitch is inside, ball one. The Duelers coaching staff, just to mention as they're out there on the bases, coaching first base is the hitting coach of this Duelers team, Wilhelm Allen. The third base is the head coach and manager of this team, third base coach, Kyle Schexnader. Our pitching coach for the Duelers in the dugout currently is Jacob Snyder. Both Snyder and Allen are on the staff at Southern University. Snyder is a pitching coach there. Allen, he just graduated from Southern. He is working his way to that staff, I believe, is what he told me a few nights ago. Kyle Schexnader was an assistant baseball and football coach at John Curtis Christian High School in New Orleans, Louisiana. Just accepted a position at Traverse City Central High School in Traverse City, Michigan, starting this next school year. So he will be heading north to the cold. Will Schexnader, as he's going up there with his girlfriend, as she will be attending pilot school. So that's kind of exciting for them. As a walk now to Jackson Norris, the Jockeys are struggling to find the strike zone. Another walk for the Jockeys. Cheyenne Dorsett comes in, the 9-hole hitter in left field tonight. A double and an RBI attached to it in the first inning for Dorsett. I mentioned the walks for the Jockeys. Already 5 walks on the day, if my math is correct, for Louisville. There's only 4 walks officially on the Game Changer scoreboard app. Now 10-3 is your score after the bases loaded walk. Walked in and run. This is kind of what the Duelers had issues with 2 nights ago against Full Count. They only gave up 1 hit, so that part of it's different. Here the Jockeys have given up 8, but the Duelers walked 10 people. And all 4 runs were came home due to either a sacrifice fly for one of them, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch were the ways the 4 runs were scored for Full Count. They got 4 runs on 1 hit 2 nights ago. So it were walks that were the biggest problem for the Duelers 2 nights ago. The Jockeys are struggling with that same issue here tonight. As the count is 1-2, finally a Jockey pitcher is ahead in the count against the Duelers, or a Jockey's pitcher is ahead in the count against the Duelers hitter. Here, 10-3 your score. Cheyenne Dorsett digs in from the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes Tom's pitch, and that one is outside. Ball 2. 8 runs in the first for the Duelers, 2 runs so far in the second, and still not an out recorded by the Jockeys defensively. As Tom looks toward first from the stretch, here comes the 2-2. That pitch is fly down the right field line and out of play, foul ball. Cheyenne Dorsett from Stillman College awaits the next pitch, and that one is lined down the third base line, foul. He will stay alive. The count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dorsett listed as a two-way player, can both pitch and play in the field. Obviously hit two as well. As Dorsett has the count at 2-2 Here it comes. That pitch hangs high and away. Another full count for the Jockeys. So far, in 1+ innings pitched, a total of 80 pitches have been thrown by the Louisville Jockeys pitchers. Both Robbie Arnett and Stephen Tom have combined to throw 80 pitches in 1+ inning of work. That's definitely not ideal if you're Louisville. If you're the Duelers, you won't complain one bit. 48 pitches to get 2 outs for Robbie Arnett, and so far 32 pitches to get 1 out. That was to end last inning by Stephen Tom. Here comes the next one, and Dorsett golfs that one to right. Right fielder brings it in. Humphrey will throw home. Runner tags. Throw to the plate. He is out by 5 miles. And that is out number 2. An aggressive send by third base coach and manager Kyle Schexnayder. You can't doubt you can't really question that one, as you might as well be aggressive, already up 10-2. But that is an out to make that 2 down in the inning. Quincy Smith coming to the plate. 2 outs, man on first base for the Duelers. As runner goes, pitch is high. Throw down to second is not in time. A stolen base for the Duelers. And I believe that's Jackson Musrock out there. No, I believe actually that should be Norris if I remember correctly. Let me double check that here. Yes, that is Norris out there on second base. The designated hit for the Duelers picks up the stolen base. First pitch was a ball to Quincy Smith. Here comes the next one, and that one is golfed foul ball. One ball, 1 strike to count. Stephen Tom still on the mound for the Jockeys. Duelers up 10-3 here in the second. Here comes the next one. Low in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Strong, but no advance. By Brett Rowell, the catcher at third base. Duelers have second and third with 2 outs. Here comes the next one. That one is high. 3 balls and 1 strike to Quincy Smith. Coming up for his 3rd at-bat of the day already in the second inning. That's pretty remarkable. A walk to lead off the game. Also had an RBI single, did Smith, later in the first inning. Here comes the next one. Fouled straight back behind the plate off the end of the bat. Count will fill out now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sam Slaughter will jog back behind the plate to pick up that foul ball. Hand it back to the home plate umpire. And retake his spot in the on-deck circle. Quincy Smith wearing number 42 this year for the Duelers. As Tom looks to first and brings home the 3-2. That pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3, and that will end the inning. But more runs come home for the Duelers. 2 more to be exact, makes the score 10-3 after 1.5. While we have a minute, we would like to thank some of our sponsors. That include Cundall Flooring. For all your flooring, backsplash, and tile needs, Cundall Flooring is the right choice. Contact Phil Cundall at 931-561-8607 for more information today. El Mazatlan Mexican Restaurant and Grill, located at 1403 Nashville Road in Franklin, Kentucky. El Mazatlan is the right choice. Contact Phil Cundall, they are a proud supporter of the Franklin Duelers. Holly J's Bar and Grill, in Franklin, Kentucky also supports your Duelers. You can find them at 1326 Nashville Road. They are available for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. We appreciate their continued support of Duelers baseball. El Potrero Cantina and Grill, located at 270 Trotters Lane in Franklin, Kentucky. El Potrero is a proud supporter of the Duelers. Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. If you need mortgage assistance in the Bowling Green area, contact Kelly Ann Sanders at 270-421-3157 today. As we are ready to begin the bottom of inning number 2. Grace back on the mound for your Duelers. Renard will toe the slab once again for his second inning of work.
Up next, our pitcher, number 14, Hunter Strong.
Hunter Strong, the catcher, will step in for the Jockeys to lead off the second inning. He is the 9-hole hitter for the Jockeys. First pitch from Grace is low and in the dirt, ball 1. Hunter Strong, wearing 14 for the Jockeys. From Spalding University, his home field is right over here. Catcher from Louisville, Kentucky, takes ball number 2. The Jockeys in their home light green uniforms, yellow and white trim, and white numerals. As the 2-0 is golfed to short right, out goes the second baseman Smith to make the catch in short right center field, 1 down. The Duelers in their road blue uniforms, gray pants, blue numerals and lettering trimmed in red. Top of the order, Colin Goda steps in now for the Jockeys. Goda, wearing number 6 for the Jockeys, steps in right side of the batter's box. Right-handed hitter takes strike number 1. Next one is in the dirt, ball 1. Evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Colin Goda from Lincoln Memorial University in the hometown of Bradenton, Florida. Next pitch is line to left center. Back goes the center fielder. And a nice running catch out there in center by Sam Slaughter to run it down. 2 up, 2 down for Grace here in this inning. Carson Bowles steps in. Also from Lincoln Memorial. Back-to-back players from Lincoln Memorial at the top of the order for the Jockeys. First pitch from Grace is outside, ball 1. Bowles, hometown of Lebanon, Tennessee. Grace has made quick work of the first 2 hitters. 1-0 pitch to the next one is a ball. Bowles takes that one inside. 10 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Duelers. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Jockeys so far tonight. Next one coming just inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1. That pitch is hit foul, third base side. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of 2s on the scoreboard right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in inning number 2. Number 2 is at the plate for the Jockeys. The Jockeys also have 2 hits and 2 errors. The Duelers scored 2 runs in the second inning. So, okay, I'm done now. I'm tired of mentioning the number 2, but that is indeed a lot of 2s. As the next pitch is a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, a full count to Carson Bowles, the third baseman for the Jockeys. Bernard Grace will get the sign from his catcher, Raul, and bring home the full count pitch. That pitch is just outside, apparently. Roll tried to frame it, didn't get the call, and a full count walk to Bowles. Joey Humphrey steps in, the 3-hole hitter. A walk in the first for Humphrey, left-handed hitter. Wearing the high socks, high yellow socks with the green stripes is Humphrey. First pitch, swung on a miss, strike 1. Throw back to first. As Bowles dives back in head first, he is safe over there. Here at Derby City Field, home of the Louisville Jockeys. Inaugural season for Louisville. Another throw back to first. Bowles drives in safely. The Jockeys, the 11th member of the Ohio Valley League. As we may have a 12th next year, owner of the Duelers, Phil Kundle, is looking to possibly add a team in Clarksville, Tennessee. That would be the 12th member of the OVL. But currently sitting here at 11 teams. The Du Bois County Bombers won the entire league last year as the 0-2 pitch is inside for ball 1. They beat the full count Rhythm in a best-of-3 World Series, 2-0 to win the playoffs, did the Du Bois County Bombers last season. As the next pitch is fouled off toward the third base side. As the Duelers were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs in a 1-game playoff by a score of 7-6, a loss to the Paducah Chiefs. Or, excuse me, I believe that was to the Hoppers in the playoffs. Yes, it was to the Hoppers. 7-6 in extra innings. Oh, no, I was right the first time. It was Paducah, 7-6 to Paducah in extras in the 1-game playoff. The Duelers finished last season with a regular season record of 15 wins and 29 losses. In the 3 years of the existence of the Franklin Duelers, 2020 obviously was canceled due to COVID, as the next pitch to Grace is grounded to short, as Musrock will take it to the bag himself to retire the side. After 2 full innings of play, Duelers up 10-3. But as I was mentioning, the 2 years of play here in the OVL that have featured the Duelers, 33 wins, 51 losses. But I was talking to owner and general manager Phil Kundle today, and he truly does believe this is his best team, at least on paper, in the 3 years of the Duelers. And looking at the statistics that have been provided by the collegiate or the college schools where these guys play, that is an accurate statement. This is on paper the most talented team that Phil has had with the Duelers all 3 years of the Franklin Duelers. Of course, 2 technically because of COVID. But an opening night win against a very talented full count Rhythm team. And then, of course, 2 nights ago, they were just haunted by walks, which can be fixed, obviously. Maybe a little bit of rust after the college season by these pitching staff. So far, Grace has been pitching well, only allowed 2 hits in 2 innings to the Jockeys. We're ready to begin here in a second, the top of the 3rd. As the Duelers will come up with 2, 3, and 4 Slaughter, Jenkinson, and Evans here in this inning.
Up next, our designated hitter, number 34, Jarrett Humphrey.
As the first pitch to Slaughter is all the way to the backstop, ball one. Stephen Tom from Bellarmine, the lefty, back to the mound for another inning of work. Came in relief of the starting pitcher, Robbie Arnett, after he could only get 2 outs in the first inning, but before being pulled after allowing 6 runs to score. Next pitch is fouled off at the plate. Strike number 1. 2 balls and 1 strike your count. Next pitch to Slaughter is grounded to second. Wichman gathers it in and fires over to Elliott. 1 up, 1 down for the Duelers here in this half inning.
Up next, their third baseman, number 14, Matt Jenkinson.
Matt Jenkinson, the third baseman today. Started at second the first 2 nights. Jenkinson from the right side of the plate drives one to center. In comes the center fielder Goda. A few steps to bring it in. Another one put down by Tom here in the third.
Next, the right fielder, number 26, Jonathan Evans.
Evans takes the first pitch for ball 1. So far on the day, Evans a strikeout in the first and a walk in the second. The 1-0. That pitch is grounded to third, a foul ball, just to the foul side of the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Your foul ball is sponsored by Fitness 19 in Limekiln.
Jonathan Evans, the redshirt sophomore from Southern University. Born and raised in Starkville, Mississippi, the home of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. As the next pitch is driven in the air to right, all the way to the warning track, goes Humphrey to bring it in. 3 up, 3 down for the Jockeys in the third. A much-needed quick inning by the Jockeys pitching staff. We head to the bottom of the third with the Duelers up 10-3.
Purchase and sell of all types of real estate, from homes, land, commercial buildings, and much, much more.
While we have a minute, we would like to take this time to thank some of our sponsors. They include Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. If you need mortgage assistance in the Bowling Green area, contact Kellyanne Sanders at 270-421-3157 today. Also, PeakaView Imaging, whether it's 2D, 3D, or 4D ultrasounds, PeakaView is the place to go for your imaging needs. You can find them at 107 Roby Street in Franklin, Kentucky. We appreciate their support of Duelers Baseball. Sure Stay Hotel Bowling Green North, located at 700 Interstate Drive in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Sure Stay by Best Western is the official hotel of the Duelers. If you're coming to the town, be sure to check them out. Also, we would like to thank Wildfire Barbecue. Check them out at 105 State Street in Franklin. Available for dine-in or carry-out, Wildfire has been serving delicious barbecue in the region for over 20 years. Wildfire is the official barbecue restaurant of Duelers Baseball. Also, we would like to thank Woody's Glove Repair, located in Franklin, Kentucky. Woody's brings old baseball gloves back to life and gives new ones a custom look. Offering relacing, repair, and break-in services, take your glove to the next level with Woody's Glove Repair. As we are back, ready to begin the bottom of the third, Duelers with a 10-3 lead. is the DH Jarrett Humphrey. Digs in. An RBI in the first for Humphrey. Facing Grace once again. First pitch low and inside, ball 1. Bernard Grace. Next pitch also low and inside. In the dirt for ball number 2. 2-0 the count. For the UAB pitcher. Soon to be the Southern University pitcher. Bernard Grace. As the next pitch is inside, ball 3. I give a lot of props to the Grace parents for keeping those two straight, Renard and Richard, with the two of them growing up. That I would not be able to do that, I don't think. So props to you guys if you're watching and listening. As the next pitch, also a ball, a leadoff walk to Humphrey. Max Sampson, the left fielder, will now dig into the plate. Walk-up song, All Right, by Darius Rucker. Very nice choice, if I do say so myself, by Sampson. As he will dig into the left side of the plate. The left fielder had an RBI single in the first. As Humphrey leads off second, here comes the first one. A breaking ball, a check swing, a foul tip is strike number 1, says the home plate umpire. Next one coming. Outside corner, strike 2. Nice pitch right there on the black from Grace. Quickly working, runner goes, hit and run, ground ball up the middle. Smith brings it in. Fires over to first, not in time. Sampson legs out an infield single. First and second now, nobody out for the Jockeys.
Next, our first baseman, number 1, Caden Elliott.
Caden Elliott comes to the dish now. Off of first goes Max Sampson from Townsend University, born and raised in Seattle, Washington. Long way to go for Sampson, who just legged out that infield single. Caden Elliott into the box now. The first baseman struck out swinging in the first. Takes the first pitch in this at bat for strike 1. Next one from Grace. There's a fly ball into center. In comes Slaughter. He will bring it in. A runner tries to tag and stops. Throw behind him by Slaughter's not in time.
Here comes our second baseman, number 12, Jonah.
As now runners at first and second and 1 down for Jonah Wichman. Grace looks toward first, gets the sign from his catcher Roll. And brings in the first pitch. That pitch, outside corner, just missed apparently. Ball 1. Wichman, the second baseman, waits the next one. Low and outside, blocked by Roll. Two balls, no strikes now. Wichman an RBI single in the first for Jonah. Here's the next one from Grace. Ground ball to second. Smith the second for 1. Back to first, a double play for your Franklin Duelers. And that will end the bottom of the third. Duelers still up by a score of 10-3. We'll be right back with the fourth. as Norris digs in to the box. Men on second or first and third. One out. Here comes the next one. That is outside for ball one. Just to catch you up, because my mic was muted, I'm still getting used to the technology. I can do play-by-play with my eyes closed, but I apologize. The technology is still a little bit new, working out the kinks here. So just to catch you up on what you missed, at least audio-wise. And he started with an error by the second baseman to allow Steven Spell to reach. A fly out to center by Musrock after the stolen base allowed Spell to get to third base, and a hit by pitch by Brett Rowe makes it first and third for the Duelers. With one down here in the fourth, the next pitch to Norris is hit foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Stephen Tom on the rubber, the left-handed pitcher, with a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Men on first and third for the Duelers. Jackson Norris awaits the pitch. Here it is. And that one is just inside, it appears. Ball number 4.
Next up, their left fielder, number 8.
That's another walk for the Jockeys to load the bases. Tran Dorsett, the 9-hole hitter, steps up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Dorsett, a 2 RBI or an RBI double in the first and a fly out to right in the second to his name. Tran in left field here today. As we do have a pinch runner, as Steven Spell had to dive headfirst into third on the tag up and jammed something going into third. We have a pinch runner now for the Duelers. Spell will limp off. Hopefully Steven's all right. As we will have some changes here for the Duelers defensively too, I would imagine. Trying to catch a number with who is on third. I'll let you know that when I see it. As it appears for the Duelers, that is Mark Castle at third base now. It is Mark Castle, as the first pitch to Tran Dorsett is a strike, swung on a miss, 0-1. Castle came in on the mound 2 nights ago to finish the ball game, or at least to pitch the bottom of the 8th for the Duelers. Mainly a hitter, though. Started at first base the first 2 days of the season, did Castle. The 0-1 is inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. So Castle will come in and most likely stay at first, I would assume, for Steven Spell. Next pitch is outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. So it's Mark Castle at third base to go along with Jackson Norris at second and Brett Rowe at first, as the next pitch is lined down the third baseline foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Norris at first, Rowe at second, Castle now at third. Tom's 2-2 is swung on a miss, strike 3. That will set Tran Dorsett down on strikes.
Up next, their second baseman, number 42, Quincy Smith.
Quincy Smith, the top of the order, as the lineup turns over for the Duelers. Smith coming up for his 4th at-bat already in this 4th inning. A walk, an RBI single, and a strikeout for Quincy today. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Top of the 4th inning, 10-3, your Duelers on top of the Louisville Jockeys here from Louisville, Kentucky, as the next pitch just misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 10 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Duelers. 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for the Jockeys. Stephen Tom's next pitch is outside, ball 3. On the day for Stephen Tom, 65 pitches, a strike percentage of only 52%. As the 3-0 is a strike, 3-1 now your count. The 3-1 is outside, ball 4. And that's a bases loaded walk for the Jockeys. Another run scores for your Duelers, and give the RBI to Quincy Smith, his second RBI on the day. (11-3) is your score now. Duelers in front. Sam Slaughter steps to the dish for the Franklin Duelers. In center field here tonight, a walk, an RBI single, and a ground out to second for Sam on the day so far. Next pitch, the 1-0 is high and away for ball 2. Sam Slaughter, last season at Calhoun Community College, hit .417, and as a result, he'll be transferring to Belmont next year. Slaughter's next swing is a pop-up first base side, but misread by the first baseman, Caden Elliott, and that will drop untouched. Just a plain old foul ball right there for the Duelers. And a ball that probably should have been caught, but Franklin will take it. Count now, 2 balls and 1 strike to Sam Slaughter. Digs in from the left side, does Sam. 2-1 from Stephen Tom. And here it comes. Low and away, ball 3. Good hitters count upcoming here for Slaughter on this next pitch. As Sam digs back in. Bases are loaded, full of Duelers. Here comes the 3-1, low and away, ball 4, and another bases loaded walk. And an RBI for Sam Slaughter. That will bring up Matt Jenkinson, the third baseman. Jenkinson, a strikeout and a flyout in the first inning in his 2 at-bats that inning, to go along with a flyout to center in the third. Biddy at the mound for the Jockeys. And a meeting outside of third base for the Duelers. Head coach Kyle Schexnader, also with 2 of his base runners over there. As Norris and Jenkinson join him as they walk back toward the Duelers' first base dugout. As the head coach of the Louisville Jockeys, that is Michael Clark, he'll head back to his third base home dugout. And a new pitcher into the ball game for the Jockeys. That will be Payne Finley from Olney Central College, the right-handed pitcher, born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. A right-handed pitcher into the ball game for the Jockeys. As the final line for Stephen Tom, 3 innings pitched, 75 pitches total, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 strikeouts, and 5 walks for Tom. Hitter will be Matt Jenkinson after the warm-up passes are completed. Jenkinson, the third baseman from Roane State Community College, will be attending Lincoln Memorial University next season and next school year as well. As Jenkinson at Roane State this past season had a very good year at the dish. Hit .348 in 161 at-bats. Those 161 ABs are the most on the Duelers team at their college seasons this past year. Excuse me, second on the team to Mark Castle in ABs total. As Jenkinson digs in from the right side, here comes the first pitch. Low and in the dirt, gets past the catcher. Runners will advance, and another run will score for your Duelers. Second and third as the 13th run crosses the plate for Franklin. 13-3 your score. As a wild pitch for pitch number 1 for the new Jockeys hurler. Payne Finley uncorks a wild pitch for pitch 1. As here comes pitch number 2. Low as well, ball 2. Jenkinson ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Runners on second and third for the Duelers. Here comes the 2-0. Also low in the dirt, blocked this time though by the catcher Strong. And the count is 3 balls and no strikes. As Jenkinson from the right side. Another pitch is low again. 3 straight pitches low into the dirt, although that one was called a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. That one looked low below the knees, but was given to by the home plate umpire. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here comes the 3-1. Off the inside corner, ball 4. I thought. But a delayed strike 2 call. Jenkinson shakes his head as he was already walking to first. A delayed strike 2 call, but a strike 2 call nonetheless by the home plate umpire. Fills the count out now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Way high this time into the backstop. Or was time called first? Time was called first, I thought. Apparently not. A run will score. This is kind of confusing as the pitcher, Payne Finley, is very confused on what is occurring on the mound. And to be completely honest with you, maybe a balk was called? Yeah, a balk was called, it looks like. So the run scores. The runner advances to third, and the count holds 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that one's low for ball 4. So on the last pitch, it was indeed a balk, so that will allow the runner from third to come home and score, and the runner from second to advance to third. As the 3-2 was a ball, and it is now first and third, 2 outs for the Duelers. Now 14-3 your score. Pitch to the backstop once again, and another run for your Duelers. As crossing the plate is Sam Slaughter for the 15th run of the game for the Franklin Duelers. Jonathan Evans at the plate now for Franklin. A strikeout, a walk, and a fly out to right for Evans. The 1-0 pitch coming from Payne Finley. Here it is. That pitch is high. Ball 2. Here comes the next one, and that's swung on and missed for strike 1. 2-1 the count. 2-1 the count to Jonathan Evans. In right field today is Evans. As Finley brings home the next one. Swung on and missed, strike 2. The 2-2 with 2 outs. Runner on a second timeout is called by Jonathan Evans first, though. As the 2-2 from Finley, here it comes. And that's swung on and missed, strike 3. Evans is retired on strikes. And that will end the 4th, but not before 5 more runs come across for your Duelers. The score, after 3.5, is 15-3, Duelers.
Oats is your number one stop shop in the Louisville area.
As Austin Taylor comes in to begin the bottom of the 4th, we have some defensive changes for your Duelers, it appears. See if we can get those figured out for you, and I will report on them when I do. Austin Taylor, the new pitcher for the Duelers. First pitch is flied into left field deep and off the wall, down off the warning track. The throw from Dorsett in, but not before a double by Austin Taylor to lead off the inning.
Pitcher number 14, Hunter Strong.
Hunter Strong will come up for the Jockeys. It is Gage Kaufman on the mound now for your Franklin Duelers. As his first pitch is low and away, ball 1. Kaufman on the mound. Mark Castle stays in at first as he came in to replace Spell as he came out injured. As the next pitch is lined down the third base line. Throw into second is not in time. An RBI double now for Carson Strong, the catcher, as it's now 15-4. Also, more defensive changes for the Duelers It appears we have another new catcher into the ball game. As the next pitch by Kaufman is in there for strike one. Next one from Kaufman is inside. Did it hit him? Yes, it did, and a hit by pitch.
Here comes our third baseman, number 2.
Means Colin Yoda heads to first base. The new catcher into the ballgame is Richard Grace, the other twin of the Grace set of twins. Of course, his brother Renard started this ballgame for the Duelers. And now Richard comes in to catch in the fourth inning. Kaufman's 1-0 is inside, ball 2. Gets off the glove of Grace, and taking second and third are the two runners on base for the Jockeys. Wild pitch is charged to Gage Kaufman. Wearing number 1 is Kaufman. Kaufman from Bossier City Community College in Lake Charles, Louisiana. On the mound for his first inning of work for the Duelers this summer. Next pitch is to the backstop. Did it go off of the hitter, Goda? I do not believe it did. As the runner scores, I guess a balk was called on Kaufman. Apparently it was, as the runners advance. As Kaufman throws the ball into his glove, not happy with himself. As pitching coach Jacob Snyder goes to the mound to discuss things with his hurler. Also the entire infield in to talk about it. As Game Changer has not officially updated with the defensive changes by the Duelers, but I know for a fact that yes, that is Grace in there catching. I saw a new infielder jogging out to the infield defensively this past inning, I thought. I'll try to catch that as well. See if I could come up with that. It is still Mushrock at third, or at short, Jenkinson at third. It looks like Evan Kirk, the backup catcher, is now playing second base. Yes, it is. Evan Kirk now into the ballgame at second. Listed as a utility player, but catcher is his primary position. Now that we have a third catcher on the roster, now that Grace has arrived, though, Kirk will probably be used more in the field. As the pitch to Goda is in there for a strike, 1-1. Next one is popped foul to the third base dugout, 1-2. So Evan Kirk in at second. Also, Grace in to catch. As a wild pitch is another run for the Jockeys. As that will make it 15-6 now. As Kaufman is having a little bit of a trouble finding the strike zone. The 3-2 pitch is chopped on the ground. Kirk, newly entered to second. The ball finds him, fires over to first. Castle brings it in. And that is out number 1.
Star right fielder, number 19, Joey Humphrey.
4-3 on the ground out for Carson Bowles. And now Joey Humphrey, the right fielder, will step in on the day for Humphrey. A pop out to short and a walk for the right fielder for the Jockeys here tonight. First pitch is a ball from Gage Kaufman. As the next one is outside for ball 2. Two-0. It's hit in the air to center, in, and it drops. Tran Dorsett picks it up as the ball is overthrown to third base. That's a good job by Kaufman to back up his position, be where he's supposed to be, and prevent the ball from going into the dugout. But the errant throw does allow the base runner to go from first to second, as Humphrey will be credited with a single and advance on the error. The other Humphrey brother, Jarrett, the designated hitter, steps in now. First pitch from Kaufman is swung on a miss, strike one. The 0-1 is lined, fouling out of play, third base side. Also would like to wish this pitcher for the Duelers, Gage Kaufman, a happy birthday. His birthday is today, as a matter of fact. Turned 19 today, did Gage Kaufman, so happy birthday to Gage. Hopefully his Duelers can get a win today in celebration. And he got to pitch on his birthday, which is kind of cool too. As that was a nice pitch, an ugly swing by the hitter Humphrey. And he will be set down quickly on 3 strikes. That's a good way to celebrate your birthday right there. Make a hitter look silly and strike him out on 3 pitches. Down goes Humphrey for the second out of the inning. That will bring up Max Sampson now. Sampson at the plate, 2 down, with Joey Humphrey on second for the Jockeys. Duelers up 15-6 here, bottom of the 4th. As the runner goes to third, as apparently some miscommunication there by the Duelers allows Joey Humphrey to get to third base now, advances 90 feet. As the next pitch, grounded to Kirk. Kirk fires over to Castle, an errant throw. Did he stay on the bag? Yes. Castle gets the out, but he's still laying on the ground face first. That's not good to see, as Mark Castle has not moved since he left the first base bag. The entire Duelers team that was at least on the field goes over to check on Castle. He gets up and looks to be okay. That's very good to see. A little bit scary, as the runner Sampson tripped over either Castle or the bag or both. I couldn't quite tell. And Castle went down diving as he tried to stretch for the errant throw by Kirk. But an out is recorded to end the inning. 3 runs come home for the Jockeys, and it's now 15-6 after 4. We'll be right back with the 5th.
Truck sales in Louisville for your new or used Ford car.
As ready to begin, at the top of the fifth, Steven Spell, or excuse me, the PA guy just said Steven Spell, and in my head I was thinking that's not Steven Spell, and I said it anyways. That's Mark Castle, who took over for Steven Spell a few innings ago after Spell dove into third base head first and tweaked something it looked like in his leg, came out for precautionary reasons, and was replaced by Castle at first. First pitches swung on and missed, strike one. Payne Finley back out there for another inning of work for the Jockeys. Castle reached on an error in his first at bat in the fourth as he checked his swing and swung on that one on appeal to the third base umpire. 0-2 now to Castle. Castle digs in from the right side, facing Payne Finley. Gets his sign from the strong and brings it home. That pitch is a breaking ball just inside, ball one. The 1-2 is fouled off. First base side out of play. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Finley set and delivering. Here is the 1-2. That pitch is low and away, ball 2. Castle battles back to even the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes here at Jockey City Field in Louisville, Kentucky. Duelers up 15-6 here in the 5th. Here's the next pitch. That one is golfed to left center. That will drop in front of the left fielder, Sampson, and that's a leadoff single for Mark Castle. Up now for the Duelers, Jackson Musrock. Musrock, the shortstop. 2 singles, and RBI attached to one of those, and a fly out to center on the day for Jackson. First pitch is low and in the dirt for a ball 1, blocked though by the catcher Strong. As it's 1-0 to the University of Memphis shortstop. Up at the plate for the Duelers, right-handed hitter. Here's the 1-0. Low and in the dirt. Ball 2. Duelers had 8 runs in the first inning. Top of the first, scored 8 to open things. 2 runs scored for Franklin in the second. No runs in the third. 5 in the fourth. For the Jockeys, 3 runs in the first. None in the second or third. And 3 this past inning in the bottom of the fourth. Your score now, 15-6 Duelers. Here's the next one. Hits the inside corner. 2-1 the count. Here comes the next pitch. On the outside corner this time. 2 balls and 2 strikes, count even. Next pitch is, it appeared time was called. Was a balk call? Another balk was called. I believe that's 3 balks in total between the 2 teams here today. And the umpiring crew is definitely cracking down on that. The runner Castle will advance from first to second as a result, and that's a ball as well. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Here comes the full count delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, a strikeout for Finley, and that's out number 1.
Number 41, Richard Grace.
As Richard Grace, as I mentioned, the newly entered catcher into the ball game. This will be his first at-bat of the season for the Franklin Duelers. Wearing number 41 is Grace, catcher out of Southern University. Finley's first pitch on its way. Low into the dirt, back to the screen, an easy advance from second to third for Mark Castle. As Grace at Southern University this past season hit .250 in just 8 at-bats for Grace at Southern this past year. 1-0 the count to Grace. Here comes the 1-0. That pitch is a breaking ball. Apparently hits the inside corner. Looked a little bit inside, but got the call. Here comes the next one, a breaking ball, low and inside. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Mark Castle on third base. Richard Grace at the plate. Finley's pitch is swung on and missed by Grace. 2-2 now. Grace wearing the high blue socks here tonight. Gray visiting pants for the Duelers. Blue uniforms with the blue lettering and numerals trimmed in red. As the count sits, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 5th inning of play here from Derby City Field. Here it is. Pitch is not caught cleanly, and a ball is called. I have a feeling that may have been a strike if the catcher caught it cleanly, but Strong couldn't do so. Count is full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grace back into the box on the right-handed hitter digs back in. Here it comes. Check swing. Did he go? No swing. And a full count walk for the catcher for the Duelers. First at bat on the season for Grace, ends in a base on balls. Jackson Norris, the DH, steps in now for Franklin. So far on the day for Norris, 2 RBI single in the first, a walk in the second, and a walk in the fourth. Now back up here in the 5th is Norris. First pitch is popped back up to the screen.
Your foul balls are sponsored by Fitness 19 on the line film.
As a member of the Jockeys coaching staff, will go grab that and flip it back to the umpire. As Jackson Norris digs back in from the left side. Next pitch is right to the shortstop. Steps on the bag for 1 and turns 2, it looks like. Although, did he go to second? Well, let's see. As Dorsett comes to the plate for your Duelers. That just went right to him. The angle here is a little bit tough to see it as I was blocked by the pitcher and the catcher on that one. Just a chopper to short. 6-3 on the putout. 2 outs now. A run comes home for the Duelers, so an RBI ground out. And Grace goes to second. So to reset things, 16-6 Duelers here in the 5th. Grace on second. And Tran Dorsett at the plate. First pitch was a strike. Next one coming is swung on and missed. A good breaking ball by Finley. Strike 2. Dorsett so far today. An RBI double in the first, a fly out to right in the second, and a strikeout in the 4th. 0-2 from Finley. Here it is. Outside corner on a breaking ball. Is strike 3 called. And that will end the top of the 5th. But the Duelers add 1 more tally. 16-6 Franklin after 4.5.
Again, thanks to our sponsors at New Outlook Realty, Real Estate Advisors. They assist their clients in the purchase of sale of all types of real estate, whether it's homes or land, commercial buildings, and much, much more.
While we have a minute, we would like to thank some of our dealers' sponsors for this season. That include Woody's Glove Repair, located in Franklin, Kentucky. Woody's brings old baseball gloves back to life and gives new ones a custom look, offering relacing, repair, and break-in services. Take your glove to the next level with Woody's Glove Repair today. Also, we would like to thank Kundal Flooring and Installation. For all your flooring, tile, and backsplash needs, contact Kundal Flooring. Phil Kundal is the one you need to call at 931 561 8607 for more information today. Also, El Mazatlan Mexican Restaurant and Grill, located at 1403 Nashville Road in Franklin, Kentucky. El Mazatlan is a proud supporter of the Duelers. Holly J's Bar and Grill in Franklin, Kentucky. You can find them at 1326 Nashville Road. Holly J's is available for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. We appreciate their continued support of Duelers Baseball. Also, would like to thank El Potrero Cantina and Grill, located at 270 Trotters Lane in Franklin, Kentucky. El Potrero is a proud supporter of the Duelers. In addition, we would like to thank Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. If you need mortgage assistance in the Bowling Green area, contact Kelly Ann Sanders at 270-421-3157 today. As we are about ready to begin the bottom of the fifth, as Grace throws down to second on the final warm-up pitch. And up to the plate for the Jockeys.
We have a correction. Apparently that's Robbie Arnett coming. No, excuse me. Hold on.
As Kobe Nowert comes to the plate. I think I'm going to beat the official score, the PA guy on that one. Wearing number 9, at least on the roster.
Correct. That's Kobe Nard.
Yes, I was correct. It's Kobe Nowert from Midway University, the outfielder, born and raised right here in Louisville, Kentucky. First pitch is low for ball 1. As the new pitcher into the game for your Franklin Duelers is Reed Howard, the redshirt freshman lefty from North Georgia. As the 1-0 is low and in, ball 2. Next pitch is line to third, foul ball, strike 2, 2-1. So it appears Kobe Nowert is pinch hitting for the first baseman Caden Elliott here in the fifth. As the count is 2 balls, 1 strike, here's Reed Howard's pitch, and that one is fouled off to the other side, now first base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next one is strike 3, and that will be out number 1 for Howard and the Duelers.
Second base, number 12, Jonah Whitman.
Jonah Witchman, the second baseman, comes to the dish now for the Jockeys. To face Howard, who gets the sign from his catcher, Grace. Brings home the first pitch. Low, and then the dirt, ball 1. Goes off the dirt and knocks the mask off of the home plate umpire, as a matter of fact. As the coaching staff will walk over and hand some new baseballs to the umpire just to give him some time to regain himself just a little bit after the pitch bounced up and hit him in the mask. Count is 1-0, excuse me. Howard's next pitch to Witchman. Just misses outside, maybe a little low as well. Ball 2. As Howard gets the sign, here's the 2-0. That pitch low and away, ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. Final line on the day for Gage Kaufman, the previous pitcher for your Duelers. One inning pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned. They go along with 1 strikeout for Gage. As the 3-0 is also a ball, this time inside, a walk. As Austin Taylor, the shortstop, steps in for Louisville. So far on the day, Taylor, a fly out and a double to his name. He will dig in to face a lefty from the University of North Georgia. Howard's first pitch. Hits the inside corner, strike 1. Howard. This next one on the way. That pitch is a little high, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Witchman off of first. Here's the next pitch, and that one hangs high and inside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Reed Howard also joining his fellow teammates, also pitchers, Daniel Courtney and Jacob Lasate from UNG. The 3 of them are here with the Duelers. So the next pitch is fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Duelers are up 10 runs here in the the bottom of the 5th. The score is 16-6. The Duelers 16 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. The Jockeys 6 hits, 6 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors. As the 2-2 is golf to center, short center. Out goes the second baseman. In comes the center fielder, and that will fall. Runners will hold at first and second.
Next, our catcher, number 14, Hunter Strong.
As Quincy Smith throws it in. Smith went from second to center to replace Slaughter and the many defensive changes that were made a couple of innings ago. So Smith now in center field. So Kirk will take the place of Slaughter in the order in the 2 hole. As the 0-1 pitch is low into the dirt, blocked nicely though by Grace. 1-1. Howard gets the sign. Here comes the 1-1. That pitcher check swing. Did he go? Appeal to first base. Umpire, no swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 from Howard. Here it is. That pitch is fought off and fouled away. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Don't forget, kids, you pick up that foul ball, take it to the concession stand for a free freezer pop.
The 2-2 from Howard. A breaking ball. Looked good. A little bit high, maybe inside. I don't know if that pitch looked like a strike. But a ball is called. 3 balls, 2 strikes. David Byrne pinch hitting now for the Jockeys. That's the 3-2. Did he go? Check swing. Yes, he did. Strike 3. That will set Byrne back to the dugout. 2 down now.
Center fielder, number 6, Colin Goda.
As Colin Goda walks up to Fly Me to the Moon. That's pretty good. I like it. As Goda will dig in. Howard gets the sign. Here's the pitch. That pitch hangs high and away, ball 1. 2 men out, bottom of the 5th inning. Men on first and second for the Jockeys. Goda on the day so far. On the day, Goda, a single, a line out to center, and a hit by pitch for Colin. Next pitch is ball 2. Here comes the next one. Low into the dirt, blocked nicely by Grace. Ball 3. 3-0 now the count. On the season at North Georgia, Reed Howard a 3.18 ERA, 17 innings pitched, 15 hits, 12 walks, 14 strikeouts, and 6 earned runs allowed. As the next one is ball 4. A walk will load the bases now for Carson Bowles. Carson Bowles on the day, the third baseman, 2 walks and a ground out to second base. Bases loaded, 2 down. First pitch is strike 1 at the top of the zone. Bowles wearing number 2 from Lebanon, Tennessee is Bowles. As Howard, here's the 0-1. That pitch is grounded to short. Musrock will fire across the diamond. The stretch by Castle, he holds the bag. And that is out number 3 to end the inning. The Duelers still hold a 10-run lead at 16-6. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th. Welcome back in. Top of the 6th, Evan Kirk in, the second baseman, takes strike 1. That pitch looked to be below the knees. Kirk thought so at least, but it's called strike 1. Payne Finley back out there for another inning of work for Payne. As Kirk, the University of Montevallo in Spanish Fork, Alabama. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch is a breaking ball just outside, apparently, for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Kirk steps in right side of the batter's box. Here's the 3-1, and that's hit on the ground to third. Bowles fires over, and that is out number 1. As taking over at first base was Kobe Nowert this past inning, so he brought in that throw. Out number 1. As the newly entered center fielder as well to replace Slaughter is Kelvin Reese, who just arrived for the Duelers from Stillman College. A lot of accolades to Reese's name as he got hit and will take his base. Reese won a Gold Glove this season for Stillman, also an all-star in the conference. So Reese, very good hitter, very good player all around as well. Just arrived from the All-Star game at Truist Park in Atlanta. That's where he was playing just a few days ago. Arrived a little late as a result, but man, that's a good reason to arrive late to the Duelers. You're playing in your All-Star game at a Major League Stadium. That's pretty cool. As the first pitch to Jenkinson is taken for strike one. Stepping off is the pitcher, Finley. He will reset things. Jenkinson into the box. The 0-1, here it is. Low into the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Strong. The next pitch from Finley, here it is. Breaking ball, hits the corner of the zone, strike two called. One ball, two strikes, throw back to first. Reese dives back in safely. On the year, Reese hit .333 with 117 at-bats, 39 hits, 11 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer, 24 RBIs. So the next pitch is strike three called to Jenkinson. Sit him down and send him back to the dugout.
New right fielder, number 5, Bryce Cape.
Bryce Cape now in right field to replace Jonathan Evans as well. So a lot of changes for head coach and manager Kyle Schexnayder here with a 10-run lead. First timeout is called for the umpires to catch their scoreboard or their scorecard up, As Payne Finley will throw to Bryce Cape now. Gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Reese will take off. Throw down to second. Reese dives in. And he is safe. The stolen base for Reese. As Kelvin Reese picks up stolen base number 1. Pitch to Cape is a breaking ball. Finds the zone. Strike one. Evens it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here. Top of the 6th. Timeout is called by Cape. He will step out and step back into the box now. As the next pitch is just low and away. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bryce Cape from Southeastern Illinois University. Born and raised in Evansville, Indiana, is Cape. A step off and a fake throw back to second. And Payne Finley will reset things. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Bryce Cape out the dish. Right-handed hitter for the Duelers. Timeout is called by Cape before the pitch can be thrown. Two balls and one strike to count. Kelvin Reese off of second base for the Duelers. 16-6 your score. Runner takes off and heads to third. The throw is there in time, and Kelvin Reese is out. That will end the inning. But after 5.5, the Duelers up 10, 16-6.
Thanks to our sponsors, Oats Flag, from Flags Apparel, printing apparel to promotional items. Oats is your one-stop shop in the Louisville area. And Dr. Frank R. Burns and the team at Middletown Eye Care, Louisville's #1 surgeon for LASIK surgery.
While we have a minute, we would like to thank some of our sponsors of the Franklin Duelers this season. They include PikaView Imaging, whether it's 2D, 3D, or 4D ultrasounds. PikaView is the place to go for your imaging needs. You can find them at 107 Roby Street in Franklin, Kentucky. We appreciate their support of Duelers Baseball. Also, Sure Stay Hotel, Bowling Green North, located at 700 Interstate Drive in Bowling Green, Kentucky, right across from the Corvette Museum. Sure Stay by Best Western is the official hotel of the Franklin Duelers. If you're coming into town, be sure to check them out. Also, Wildfire Barbecue. Check them out at 105 State Street in Franklin, Kentucky. Available for dine-in or carry-out, Wildfire has been serving delicious barbecue in the region for over 20 years. Wildfire is the official barbecue restaurant of the Duelers. Also, we would like to thank Woody's Glove Repair, located in Franklin, Kentucky. Woody's brings old baseball gloves back to life and gives new ones a custom look. Offering relacing, repair, and break-in services, take your glove to the next level with Woody's Glove Repair today.
Austin Griffin into the game.
As we are ready to begin the bottom of the 6th, hitting now for the Jockeys is Austin Griffin from Indiana University Southeast, the outfielder from Shelbyville, Kentucky. Still facing the lefty from North Georgia for the Duelers, Reed Howard. Griffin wearing number 23. He will be pinch hitting for Joey Humphrey, probably remaining in the game in right field. First pitch inside for ball 1. Have to bring up to the fact that there is a 10-run rule after 7 innings of play here in the Ohio Valley League, as the 2-ball no-strike pitch is high for ball 3. If the team is leading by 10 or more runs after 7 complete, the game will be called right there. So we're nearing that, on the border, of course. 16-6, just up by 10 are the Duelers. I say just, meaning on the border of the run rule, of course. 10 runs is a lot to overcome if you're the Jockeys, but if it's less than 10 after 7, they'll keep going. And a leadoff walk for the Jockeys might get some things going here offensively. A walk by the newly entered Austin Griffin. As the first pitch to the next hitter, Jared Humphrey, is ball 1. Humphrey, the designated hitter today. Next pitch from Howard is inside, ball 2. Humphrey today, an RBI in the first inning to go along with a walk and a strikeout. Next pitch from Howard. Hits the zone, strike 1, 2-1 the count now. The 2-1 hangs high. 3 balls and 1 strike now. Reed Howard from the University of North Georgia. Into the ballgame for another inning of work out of the bullpen. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jared Humphrey, one of the few these days that don't wear batting gloves. Humphrey doesn't have a batting glove on either of his hands. As the next pitch is fouled straight back. Count holds at 3-2. Austin Griffin off of first base. That's the 3-2. This popped in the air. Second baseman Kirk calls for it, circles underneath it, and then brings it in. For out number 1 here in the 6th. Max Sampson, the left fielder, steps in now. 1 out, 1 on for the Jockeys here, bottom of the 6th. Sampson so far an RBI single in the first, a walk in the third, and a ground out to second in the 4th. Sampson squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes the pitch a little bit low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, 16-6 Duelers. Next pitch is swung on, chopped on the ground. Kirk gathers it in, fires to second. 1 out there. A nice play there by Evan Kirk to get the lead runner at second. No chance to turn 2, though.
Up next, our first baseman, number 9, Kobe Nart.
As Kobe Nart steps in for his second at-bat of the game. First baseman, pinch hit for the starting first baseman, Caden Elliott, earlier on, as the first pitch from Grace finds the strike zone, 0-1. Last play goes 4-6 in your scorebook on the putout. Technically, that is a fielder's choice, as the throw to second on an attempted steal is not in time by Grace. That is a stolen base for the Jockeys. On second is Austin Griffin now after the stolen base. In his first at-bat of the day, Kobe Nowert struck out swinging in the 5th. Here in the 6th, runner takes off to third, a hit and run, and a foul ball will send him back to second. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here, bottom of the 6th inning. 16-6 Duelers. Duelers 16 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Jockeys 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors on the day. As Howard brings in the 1-2, and that's swung on and missed, strike 3. Howard will end the 6th. Duelers still up 10 by a score of 16-6. We'll be right back with the 7th. While we have a minute, we would like to promote Visit Bowling Green. You can find information and activities going on in the Bowling Green area all summer by going to visitbgky.com. Also, you can call 800-326-7465 to learn more about Bowling Green and the activities going on this summer today. Visit Bowling Green is a proud supporter of Duelers baseball. As we're about ready to begin the top of the 7th, the Duelers up 10 runs now. 16-6 your score. Duelers 8 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 5 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth to get you to 16. Jockeys with 3 in the first and 3 in the fourth to get you to 6. As Kyle Schexnader jogs back to the third base coach's box. As now pitching for the Jockeys will be number 27, John Henry Fowler, the right-handed pitcher from Hendrix College and from English, Indiana.
Next to right fielder number 5, Bryce Cape.
Bryce Cape digs in as he gets another at-bat after the previous inning. The runner was thrown out trying to steal. Cape, wearing number 5 for the Duelers, will dig in for his first at-bat of the day. Official final line for Payne Finley. 2 1/3. 1 hit, 1 run. That was earned. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. As the first pitch from Fowler, it's a breaking ball, finds his own, strike 1. The next pitch is in the dirt, but swung on and missed. 0-2 your count. 0-2 to Bryce Cape. Started in left on opening day, did Cape. Also started on Friday night in Hendersonville as well. Got the day off, at least starting today. And is a pinch hitter and a defensive replacement later in this ball game. Fouls off the next 0-2 pitch. Count holds at no balls and 2 strikes. Fowler brings home the 0-2. High and inside, ball 1. Cape digs back in, right-handed hitter. Bryce, here is the 1-2. Hangs inside, almost hits him, but Cape turns away and takes ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Cape digs back into the box. Bat on his shoulder. Here comes the 2-2. That pitch is grounded to the third baseman. He will gather it in, fire over to first, and get Cape by a half step. Good hustle there by Bryce, but couldn't quite beat it out. As Bowles fired over to Nowert. As Mark Castle steps in. Previous play, 5-3 on the ground out to third for Cape. Mark Castle into the box now for the Duelers. Where's number 22 does Castle. In his first at-bat of the day, had a single in the 5th. First pitch, a breaking ball. Big swing, no contact though for Castle. Strike 1. Castle from Young Harris College, the sophomore from St. John's, Florida. The 0-1. This time Castle waited on a breaking ball, fouled it back though. 0-2. Castle at 335 at Young Harris this past season, 188 at-bats. As the next pitch is lined into right center, but caught by the right fielder. And that is out number 2.
Next up, your shortstop, number 21, Jackson Muscott.
Jackson Musrock into the box. First pitch to Musrock is taken high, ball 1. Musrock on the day, an RBI single in the first, a single in the second. Fly out to center in the fourth, and a strikeout in the fifth. Checks his swing, does Jackson. Takes ball 2, 2-0. Jackson Musrock from the University of Memphis, wears number 21 for the Duelers this summer. The 2-0 is taken low, ball 3. Heading the count now, 3 balls and no strikes. Musrock digs in, the right-handed hitter facing Fowler as he brings in the 3-0. Big swing, no contact for Musrock, strike 1. Had the green light there on 3-0. Couldn't make contact, though, on the fastball. 3 balls, 1 strike. John Fowler, right-handed pitcher. Here's the 3-1. That pitch is hit on the ground to short. Over to first, and that will end the inning. Top of the 7th, complete 16-6. Duelers will be back with the bottom half. Stay with us. Welcome back into Derby City Field here in Louisville, Kentucky. The Duelers up 16-6. If no runs score in this half inning, I believe the game will be called because it's a 10-run lead after 7. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that will be the case. As resetting things for the Duelers, Reed Howard back for another inning of work on the mound. Defensively for the Duelers, Rashard Grace behind the plate. Mark Castle at first. Evan Kirk at second. Jackson Musrock at short. Matt Jenkinson at third. That's Shane Dorsett in left still. Kelvin Reese has taken over in center. And in right is Bryce Cape. That's leading off the bottom of the 7th. For the Jockeys is Jonah Witchman, the second baseman. First pitch goes to the screen, ball 1. Witchman on the day, an RBI single in the first, a 4-6-3 double play in the third. As the next pitch is grounded toward the first base line, foul. And also for Witchman, a walk in the 5th. Reed Howard, 1-1 the count to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Wichman calls time and steps out. Wichman is another one that wears no batting gloves. I was mentioning it earlier. I believe it was Humphrey, if I remember correctly. But Wichman also doesn't wear batting gloves. Next pitch. It's the bottom of the zone. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. Wichman, left-handed hitter, awaits the 1-2 from Howard. And here it comes. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Swinging. And Wichman will head back to the third base dugout.
Next, our shortstop, number 28, Austin Taylor.
Austin Taylor, the shortstop, steps in now for the Jockeys. A fly out to left, a double, and a single. So 2 for 3 on the day for Taylor so far. Up for his third AB on the day. The first pitch is popped up. Castle over to give it a look, but that is out of play. No, it is not out of play. It came back. Excuse me. Castle brought it in. A pop out to first for out number 2.
Up next, our catcher, number 4, David Byrne.
Pop out to first for out number 2. David Byrne, the catcher. Into the box for his second AB of the day. Struck out in the 5th when he came in to replace Hunter Strong. As Howard looks to get this final out of the 7th. Here it comes. Low into the dirt. Ball 1. Duelers, 16 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Jockeys, 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. The next pitch is grounded to third, foul. Strike 1, 1-1 the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Duelers up 10 runs. Next one coming, low and inside, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Here comes the 2-1. That one is skied. Foul ball and out of play. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Again, my name is Sam Reeves here with you from Louisville, Kentucky, in Derby City Field. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Drop third strike. Grace over to first, and that will end it here in the inning. Castle is there to end the inning. And will that end things? Yes, it will. That will be your final score. Duelers 16, Jockeys 6. Once again, the Duelers 16 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. The Jockeys 6 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. Tomorrow, your Franklin Duelers will be back on the road, as the Duelers have a long road trip ahead of them. The Duelers are wrapping up this road trip, though. They were in Hendersonville a couple of nights ago. Of course, in Louisville here tonight. We will be at Henderson to take on the Flash. 6:30 Central, first pitch. Tomorrow night from Henderson, Kentucky. Then on the road in Fulton, Kentucky, to take on the Railroaders. First pitch, 7:05. Tuesday night, June 7th, before returning home for a 8-game homestand that begins on Wednesday, June 8th, and wraps up Friday the 17th. So a lot more baseball coming for you here on the Duelers Network. Stay with us on the Duelers YouTube channel. Follow us on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram to keep up with your Duelers in the meantime. That'll put a bow on this one, though. Final score, Duelers 16, Jockeys 6. My name is Sam Reeves. Thank you for listening and watching, and have a great night, everybody.